Welcome everybody to another episode of Paranormal Saloon. I'm your host Jay Hill. It's been a hot minute since I've been on here. I've got a great show for you tonight. Um, the documentary crew of Evil Unearthed. I I watched it. Um, I was pretty intrigued by it, and there were parts in there that were kind of unsettling. And I'm not gonna lie, it was it was kind of creepy. You know, the dr- the way they did the documentary, I kind of got some ideas from it. I mean, it was like really inspiring. So, but I love the way that the way it was done was just I can't even describe. I can't even talk. Holy crap! It's been a while since I've been on, so I guess I'm maybe just a little bit tired. But I've been working a lot lately. But Matt Benton did a fantastic job in directing this and putting this together, and Joe and Helena. And yeah, it's just, well, enough of me talking. Let's get these guys on and boom, boom, boom. And of course, Matt. All right. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
Thank
I,
you for having us.
Thanks
yeah,
for having
yeah,
us.
yeah. And, I must say that when I watched that video on Amazon, I didn't know what to expect. And to be honest with you, I was really taken by the way the shots that you guys had in that documentary were, I mean, I try to be, I'm trying to be somewhat of a documentary person myself, but man, I'm like, shit, I don't even know if I could even accomplish some of that because some of those shots were great.
Oh,
I mean, I
thanks.
was just like, so, but this is a an ongoing thing. I watched this and it was like, back in 2017, and it's taken you a while to compile all this and to get this together. That had to
Yeah.
really put a dent in your life.
Well, in the beginning, it was supposed to be a different documentary, and then at the time, I didn't have the right amount of equipment. I didn't have the right amount of uh, experience, I should say, in documentary filmmaking during the time I started filming it. And then when we started uncovering more and more about the house, that's when I was like, okay, this should be its own film because of the
Hmm.
hit. It has its story. It seemed
Hmm.
like a story that should have been told onto television, I believe. So, um, and then I had some stuff that wasn't out there yet. When it came to the television side of things, they didn't have the stick figure video out there. They didn't have the possession audio out there. The uh, and we also had the person that did the rituals. So that's like it's
Hmm.
three different things that was like very big deal. I felt like
Hmm.
that. Oh, and also we're the only ones that actually put out, and at least in a that I've seen in a video format of the actual documents supporting the history instead
Hmm.
of like just saying. Like there's a lot of speculations and a lot of rumors out there that are just not true.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that that's why we same with our last film, The Harrisville Haunting. We are very big about getting our history proper in
Hmm.
this film
Hmm.
in our films. So
Right,
yeah,
right. Yeah, I mean, and this when I was watching that, and I was listening to some of the audio, and when that the possession one came across, and I was like, there's another place, another audio that I heard that resembled that, and I can't say where, but it was almost identical, and I was like, oh shit,
maybe Justin
and
Brown.
that was disturbing.
Maybe Justin Brown because
Maybe.
Justin Brown has a he's used the audio, but it was on television. So,
Hmm.
but he used it on YouTube
Right,
video of
right,
his. Yeah, he's him
right,
and I were the
right.
only ones that actually had access to that audio. So until.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's going to be on for
Yeah.
everyone. Now millions of people get to watch it.
Right.
So,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Right. Um. So how? Let me go explain it. What did you think when Matt brought this to you and said, "Here's what we're gonna do," or "Here's what I'm doing. This is what I'm thinking." What were your
Um,
thoughts about this?
so originally I was supposed to be in a music video, which was shot at the location, but plans changed, and
Mm-hmm.
then Matt was like, "You know what? Do you want to like be part of the investigation too? You know, be part of the documentary?" And of course, I was scared, kind of nervous because I heard a lot of things about this location. I never been there before, but
Mm-hmm.
of course I was like, hell yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So you basically kind of just said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it," and then did you once you got into doing it, did you realize or did you think to yourself, "What did I get myself into?"
Yeah. Few
Okay.
times. But yeah, like
Yeah.
but something good came out of it. Like, Matt and I, you know,
She caught an
I mean,
attachment.
yeah, got an attachment.
Yeah.
Permanent attachment.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, Helena and I, that was our first time
Right.
meeting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was at the house.
wow.
Yeah,
There are no coincidences, so that's and I've seen you guys, the pictures of you guys together, and yeah, kudos to that. You guys look like a good couple. So.
Thank you.
thank you.
But I will get to ask Joe. I'll ask Joe the same question. What were you thinking when you first came across this property?
Well, I've been to the house quite a few times before the documentary. Um, I think it's a better question to ask. What did you think when you first met Matt? Because that's where I first met Matt. Was, was at
Okay,
the
okay, we'll go with
house.
that question.
No, it was funny. It's sort of like
Yeah.
this ongoing joke, but uh, literally, the first time I actually seen Matt, he had this car, and like you couldn't like you just couldn't hide the fact that he was into the paranormal. That's just all
Right.
kinds of stuff
Right.
littered all
Right.
over his car that had something to do with the paranormal. And he gets out, leather jacket, hat, and I look
Hmm.
over at the other person I was there with, and I'm like, "The hell does he think he is, Zach Baggins?" And yeah,
Oh, that's
so
funny.
but the like I said, I've been to the house many, many times, and there are times where it's quiet, nothing goes on. I mean,
Right.
honestly, I
Right.
was kind of nervous
Right.
um, filming this because, again, sometimes you go to a location and it has a tendency not to just not do anything, just be very, very quiet. But we got lucky. Plus,
Hmm. Hmm.
we've got years upon years of footage of that location. So,
One
um,
thing, sorry,
but no, go ahead, Matt.
no, it was about the what happened there that wasn't caught on camera, which was what the first time we were there. I mean, first time I was there with Joe. I mean, um, there was the upstairs light that turned on, and we couldn't even figure out how it turned on. So it was like we were like looking everywhere, and then we found out that it was actually on the lamp thing itself. So something turned that lamp thing on, which is
Right,
crazy. So
and
that's
it's
what. Okay, keep going. That's what I wanted to add. So
yeah, and it's not easy to turn that light on.
yeah,
Hmm.
It's like we had no clue how it turned on, and then when we figured it out, we're like, that takes a lot to
Hmm.
turn on. Like it's just not something simple.
Right.
yeah.
Uh,
And same with the door. That heavy ass
Oh yeah.
door that I saw.
I
Oh
got
my
super
gosh.
lucky. I got
Yeah, when
super
that
lucky.
popped open, I was like, "Holy crap!" And then when you said that it was locked, I mean, now Joe,
Yeah.
have you ran into open doors like that since you've investigated in there before? I mean, have you come across things like
I've
that?
had I've had that happen, except
Okay.
a door slamming shut, and this has happened 2 or 3 times. We weren't
It's the one
filming.
in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, it was
Hmm.
the one in the kitchen, which is now sealed up. Um, so I'm at the location investigating, and it was the second day that I was there with these other two investigators, and we're upstairs, and I hear slam. I'm like, the hell was that? It shook the house,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody said, "Oh, that was just a car door." I'm like, "No, no, no, no. There's no way that shook the house. That came from in the
Mhm.
house." Well, come to find out, went downstairs, and yeah, it was this kitchen door. Now, the first day that actually happened, but it didn't slam shut. We were setting up cameras in the basement, and we came back up, and the door shut. No, we wouldn't shut the door because we have cables running through there for
Right.
one of the cameras, and it was shut. Like, okay, that's weird. Um, so yeah, I mean, I've experienced that, and there were other things too that have been experienced in that house. So I think when it comes to a location like and specifically a house, the Monroe house is probably the most like it is the weirdest freaking place
Mm-hmm.
I have
Mhm.
ever investigated.
I think I could say for a house, I think it might be the most haunted house I've ever investigated. Oh, never mind. Mackie Mansion was pretty up there too. But yeah,
Mm. Oh yeah.
those two would be like my two top houses. I would
I
say that I've been to.
I would say the Bitten farmhouse, but when we went there, nothing happened.
Yeah, it
Right.
doesn't have to all the time though, because like the Mackie Mansion, I've been there like 3 or 4 times, and only one of the times was dead. The rest of the times we had activity. So it's like it really depends. So
Right. Right. Well, I mean, man, I mean, some of this stuff that, like, when I was watching on the show on the documentary, did you ever come across something that when you like, there's something in the kitchen. Like when I was watching that, there's scenes in the kitchen. Now, because of who I am, being a psychic medium, and even when I watch certain TV programs or even like documentaries or something like that, and because of the fact that I was vested in watching this because I wanted to know the details of this program and what the history is and all this other stuff, I got a really bad headache. I mean, and I don't get headaches, and I was just it was really kind of disturbing, especially when I heard that baby cry
yeah.
in the kitchen when nobody was there, and that was kind of unsettling. So there were moments in that whole place, especially the kitchen. I don't know what it is about the kitchen, but there was something in the kitchen. Every time you would see I would see a shot in the kitchen, it would just I'd have this like pain in my head.
Well, when I was doing Man vs. Paranormal, that's where I heard most of the noises was in that kitchen. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was hearing like little like movement sounds or footsteps or dragging sounds, like, and I'll have the door shut so that main room where we have our equipment and everything. That's where I was sleeping during Man vs. Paranormal, and when I was like trying to go to sleep, I would just hear like shuffling or something like that in the kitchen, which was weird.
Right. Right.
And between the kitchen and there's another room that connects to the basically it's a connection to what we call the blue room, and then you have the basement door and then a bathroom. Yeah, footsteps, uh, like just random footsteps, and Dawn and I have experienced that. A lot of people have experienced that. Um, so I don't know. It's a weird spot, but also like it's weird because people will go there and say, oh, upstairs in this bedroom was pretty active, and it kind of seems to stay that way for a while, and then it kind of like switches elsewhere, like to a
Yeah.
different like part of the house.
I think the most active spot of the house
Mhm.
for us, at least, was the blue room.
Yes.
Something's wrong.
Okay.
Something's up with that blue room.
Yeah, something's up with that room.
Okay, now let's kind of shift gears a little bit. Let's get into the Estes methods.
Oh, yeah.
That mask is sick.
Yeah.
It's
I'm telling you,
terrifying.
that is like, oh yeah,
I had
yeah. I mean, I watched that. I was like, did he just really put that on? I was like, oh my god, you know.
BDSM. I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
Right, right, yeah. I mean, seriously. I mean, anybody that just turned on that TV or turned it on or came in the room and saw that, like, what the hell is that? You know.
We just forgot the handcuffs,
But
damn it. Just kidding.
yeah, yeah. No, but I mean that whole both of those Estes methods from the upstairs and in the basement. The basement was really kind of odd. I want to talk a little bit about that because in the beginning it started out really kind of dark, and then it was almost like somebody turned on a light switch, and all of a sudden it was all about being positive,
Yeah,
or
that was interesting.
saying
Yeah.
prayer, or you know what I
Yeah, there
mean.
was a shift.
What were your takes? What were all of your takes on that?
I know what my opinion, because it was a spiritual. Actually, yeah, you're right. It wasn't just my feelings; it was also what was coming through. I think it was more of maybe this is just theory and opinion. This obviously doesn't. There's no factual information
Right.
about this, but I felt like it was either a like some kind of angelic or spirit guide type energy that was coming through during that moment. Because when he started doing the prayers in the basement at the end, I didn't even know he was saying prayers. So I had those headphones blasting in my ears, and that's like things shifted during that moment, and I felt something come over positive, and it was interesting that I didn't know he was like doing the prayers during the moment too. So it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool when reviewing back. That was the coolest part, dude. When I first was watching this whole thing, I was getting the chills at certain times because I didn't know what was being said, and I didn't know my body language was matching up with what was being said.
Upstairs, your body language to Helena was just
so
creepy.
creepy.
I
Oh
mean,
my god.
yeah, I mean,
and I was laughing in
mean,
this moment, but like that was nervous laughter.
that was a
Yeah,
nervous laugh.
I was
Yes,
actually
I would agree,
scared.
but
Actually, that's a good
yeah, you're
moment
just
right
like,
there
why is he
in that
looking at
aspect,
me?
because there's
Yeah.
always these people out there that think, or like people that are in the that aren't paranormal investigators, and they think everything's fake. Like her reaction is pretty
That's
genuine.
genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it didn't happen just once or twice. I mean, it was like several times that you looked at her and she was
She moved
kind of like,
positions.
just
Yeah, I
yeah,
did.
just stop.
And she moved
Yeah.
positions, which was
Yeah.
very strange.
Right.
Yeah.
I
So
think.
talking about that.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say.
No, go ahead.
I think what was happening during that Estes method was likely the same thing, just switching, like playing basically a different role, like kind of messing with us. I mean, again, just what I think, my opinion, but I think whatever it was probably the same thing, just kind of playing along with the whole thing that was happening with the prayer and stuff like that.
Right. And even having that upstairs, I mean, doing that SS upstairs, there was just something about, I don't know, it was just the energy that I could tell that all of you guys were around. I mean, I could just see it. It's just electric. You know what I mean? And now, how many times? Let me go back. So, Matt, have you done different Estes
Yes.
methods up
The
there?
thing is, up there. No, not really. No, not there for again. It was only that basement and that one time up there. But I want to say that I've done many Estes sessions in my life, and that was by far the best Estes session I've ever had. Most of the time, I don't get anything good from Estes. Mostly it's just jumbled, like random ass words that don't mean anything. Is usually what it is. And then maybe a couple things that matches here or there. But I've only had like 2 accurate Estes sessions in my entire time I've been using it. So that's saying something, because usually it seems it doesn't work for most of the time until the Monroe House, and then one other time it worked here. So it was like this was the creepiest one though, for sure. the number one when it comes to
Yeah.
creepiest.
So I will say that you guys have merch,
Yes,
right?
it's
Okay.
it's in the. You go on the YouTube channel links. I should also promote it on the Facebook page. But if you go to the trailers of the film on YouTube under Paranormal Research Unit,
Mm-hmm.
there's a link that says "Evil." There's "Evil Unearthed" merch there. So,
Okay. But what I was really gonna say is you need to market that mask.
you know what's funny? It's a friend of mine's mask.
Seriously.
So it was a friend of mine's mask, and then when I saw it, I was like, that's when the idea popped in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, red lights,
Yeah.
Estes
Yeah.
session,
Right.
black out the eyes. This is
Yeah.
gonna look cool and creepy, and
it
also
does.
gives them, yes, and on top of that, it also gives more claustrophobia feel. So when you, because I've also been handcuffed with them before, and so when you have a mask on and the headphones and handcuffed, it's like it's a different feeling because for me, I am a adrenaline seeker or in some ways, and
Mm-hmm.
since the paranormal doesn't scare me in any ways anymore, I need something to have a little bit more heightened in my senses, I guess, and
Something
that
that
helps out.
gives you that spark. Yep. No, I get it.
Yeah, something that
Yep,
gives me
I
that
get
spark.
it. Helena, so have you always been involved or had a passion for the paranormal, or is it just something new to you?
So, it first started. Well, I always had, well, always, but my whole life I had some sort of experiences. I lived in a haunted house and everything, but I
Mm-hmm.
think the spark started like 3, 4 years ago. I started watching YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
paranormal YouTube, and slowly I just started doing it myself. Like, getting to like going like paranormal tours, going to haunted places, and yeah, basically it just started. I'm very new to this. I've been doing YouTube videos 3 years now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm still a
Right.
rookie, but
Right. Right.
I'm learning new things on every investigation.
New
Yeah.
things.
And I learn a lot
Right.
from these guys. And now I'm part of PRU,
Right.
and
Oh
it's
yeah. Yeah.
definitely honor to be part of such a like group or team that it's just about the truth, no faking, and
Mm-hmm.
like takes it so seriously, and
Right.
I think it's
Right.
amazing.
Hey
Yeah.
Joe, so let me ask you. I mean, you've been in the paranormal field for quite a long time. Is there anything new recently that you've tried or that you have an idea for that would enhance your paranormal investigative abilities?
Um, there are a lot of things that I have tried. Honestly, I think just the old school
Mm-hmm.
way of doing things, honestly, it's the best way to do it. I don't have to worry about lugging all kinds of crazy gadgets and trying to like rely on, because you can't rely on, this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
False positives. A RIM pod goes off. You're like, okay, but what is it? You know.
Right. Right.
Um, I mean, yeah, like Dawn and I, for example, normally I wouldn't, do the Estes method,
Mm-hmm.
but from time to time, Dawn and I will give it a try. Um, but really, we only do that when that's the claim, right? We go to a
And
location,
I just
and
want to
that's the
confirm
claim.
something with you, Joe. I just want to confirm something with you. When you do the SS method, how often you get anything actually accurate? Like
Not
constantly.
like not
Exactly. That's what I'm
not
saying.
in like really anything. To be honest, there've
Like
been
what would you
a
say
couple
the
of interesting.
percentage of that is? So what a lot of people
I
don't
would
think, they think that it's like, oh yeah, you get it all the time, and I've done it, and that's not even the case.
the issue with the YouTube videos out there, most of the YouTube videos out there, they keep reaching and reaching, making
Mhm.
everything trying to make
Connecting
sense of things.
dots.
Yeah,
Mhm.
connecting dots thing. This one was different. Had weird body language, and some of them were. This is the most consistent. It's been like accurate. So, yeah, like I said, I've done it many times and only had two that were pretty pretty accurate, and all the others were just like random, and then some lucky ones, which I don't count those ones because it has to be consistent to where I feel like it's legitimate. And so yeah, but that's just also it's not also not evidence. It's not real evidence.
Right.
It's just
Right,
if you believe it, you believe it. But personally, I believe in the Monroe House situation. I do believe it.
And one of the things that Don and I are gonna, I mean, not that we haven't, but gonna start doing far more often when we go to investigate is, to really split up from one another, just to see what happens. A lot of my investigations, like before I met Dawn, I was by myself. I was like, I would book a location and I'm there by myself. And quite like not a lot would happen. I'm like, if something happened, I'm like, holy crap, like, wow, finally.
Right. And you were by yourself, so you had nobody to turn to and say, "Hey, oh, there's nobody here."
Just me and my cameras and my digital
Right.
recorders. That's
Right.
it.
You know what's funny? There's one SS method that I did back in 2017 at the Revenant Acres. It was my first time ever doing it, and I don't remember the session, so I do have the footage on it. So I might just rewatch that session and see if that one was accurate. But that was my first time ever doing it before it was all popular on YouTube.
Right. Right.
Now, yeah, like once in a great while, some interesting stuff comes through the SS method. But then again, you like is trying to connect the dots here, kind of thing. We were Don and I. We were at the old hospital on College Hill, and one of the claims there was, or not even a claim. I mean, this legit happened. But anyways, a guy shot another officer. They caught him. Dude ended up in the hospital. He got shot in the arm, and I guess he wanted to escape, and he jumped out of the window, hit pavement, still lived through it. So one of the claims is that people like see this guy or hear this guy, but there were police there at that point in time. They were watching him, and we heard what sounded like a police radio come through during one of Dawn's assessments. Now I didn't hear it at the time. Dawn did. Going back and watching the footage, I'm like, how did I not hear that? Because that was loud. Like, that was crazy loud. How could I not hear that? But it came through on the assessment. Now, I don't know what that was, but it was just weird that it happened.
Now, do you guys think that there's? I mean, we all know that everything is energy and frequency, and especially in the paranormal. I mean, that anything can happen on any given day. That sometimes locations can be haunted, act like it's got a poltergeist. Then there's other times where you get nothing, and it's like paranormal doesn't show up when it, what I mean, on demand. It's just it's a roll of the dice.
That's why it took 7 years of documenting that place.
Yeah, and that's what I've always believed, and I told people, I'm like, you can't just, they're like, well, how do you do this? You go to a location and it's like, when I went, it wasn't haunted. When I go here to this other place, that was haunted. You know what I mean? So it's just, so there's so many different things that when you're investigating, it's just not about investigating. It's about learning what causes that investigation. What causes that paranormal. What can, like you talked about your the cop's radio. Now, to me, residual energy somehow
could very well be
attached itself somewhere. So it's kind of like, I don't think it was like, in my opinion, noise, but it's just there's a lot of residual energy around, and I'm sure that when you guys walked through the Monroe house, I'm sure you guys ran into a lot of residual energy. I'm sure that you kind of picked and choose. Yeah, that's probably residual, or that's something that we can't explain. Did you ever run into that?
At the Monroe house, I would say that the personal experiences of the people, like the connection that we made with one of the past abuse that possibly happened there. And so based off the news articles and everything that I showed in the film, and then that situation happening with, she wasn't the only one, but she's the only one that I have recorded myself. I've heard of it happening to other people too, but it was with Maddie that was affected there in that way of, and she even says that it felt like abuse, and in her own words. And so that was intriguing because that's actually the history of the house. Apparently there was abuse that took place there from both
It backs up that claim.
Yeah, it backs up the claim. And so, and which is interesting because most people, it's been rumored and everything, but it's never been confirmed on film on TV until now. So, based off of the news articles, there was a blogger that I did find on the internet that did do the proper research on the Monroe House, and that was in there, but it's not on television for everyone to see. So it was the first time, yeah. And we also did. Joe and I did a lot of research, and also my brain's going like Karen and wait, who was the ones that we got information from that we actually?
So Karen definitely helped, and Kenny Biddle. He gave a little bit of information that we didn't have.
Kenny's awesome. Yeah.
But one of the things that I find interesting is people's moods when they go to the house. Like, I'll go to the house, everything can be fine, but then all of a sudden, my anxiety level just shoots through the roof. While I was doing an interview, I'm just sitting there, and one of our guys, he was asking me questions, and I literally wanted to punch him in the face. And I even straight up told him, I'm like, dude, I want to punch you in the face. Like, for no reason at all, I'm pissed off at you. And that's kind of a thing that happens there. And I've seen firsthand other people, like, get upset with people for, like, the dumbest reasons ever. It's like, why would you be upset? That doesn't even make sense. So you can definitely... whatever is there is very manipulating, and it's a psychological haunting. I believe, anyways. My opinion.
Yeah, right. I agree.
So when you guys did the research, you and Joe, did you guys come across where you were? Yeah, this is bogus. This is just a rumor. How many times did you run into the rumors where people said, "Oh, that's got to be real"?
We couldn't find anything confirming, let's say, the apparently a baby was buried in the crawl space. There's no like documentation or anything factual about that. So
right. There were rumors of somebody. I have to be careful because it's YouTube. We'll say self-deleting themselves in the house. There was nothing to confirm that.
Yeah, there's none of that in the house.
There was another story about a guy who living there and set the dog on fire or something like that, and ended up the smoke inhalation or something like that. Ended up taking the life of a kid. Like, there's just none of that.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, what we put in the film is the facts.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just saying what we put in the film.
A lot of it. Yeah. Right. A lot of that too, though, is especially with YouTube, and I've seen some other ones, different YouTube videos of different paranormal teams or different, where they swear that this is what happened and that's what happened, and even if I researched it, I'm like, yeah, no, that didn't happen. So, have you guys ran into a lot of that pushback from all that?
You're breaking up.
Yeah,
sorry.
You're breaking up. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I mean, have you guys had that pushback? I mean, where you're basically just saying, all these people are kind of trying to discredit you.
I think that yeah.
I'm sorry.
If you go on IMDb, like for our first film, you have so many haters of people in the paranormal. Just don't believe at all. So they're they just think it's all fake and everything. So the thing is, the paranormal, I don't think there's any like big paranormal film that doesn't have a lower rating just because there's so many people that don't believe in the paranormal, and then also people that think everything's fake. So you have those two issues at that side. So basically, this film is more for the fans and the people that are interested in the paranormal. So that's basically what it's meant for. And so far, it's funny. No one's the only people that have complained about the length of the film have been the ones that are they don't believe or not 100%, and also they're not the normal paranormal moviegoer. And so,
Right.
yeah, so this was meant for the fans of the paranormal.
Right.
I will
It-
say this: when it comes to doing research, um, when we like, if I see a YouTuber at the Monroe House, and they're like, "Oh, this happened here," and it's like, "No, this did not happen." Yeah, people don't like that because they're like, "Oh, this person did their research." Like, no, that obviously they did not. I know there was a big YouTuber who went to the Monroe House and talked about a child being like, oh, a baby was, buried in the crawl space, and my fiance Dawn's like, no, that did not like, no, that's not real. And then they blocked her and said, he does his research. This guy does his research. And then there are people, and I'm gonna touch on this briefly here, who give you all kinds of information on their history, and you go look, come to find out it's wrong. And when you say something, well, then they want to sue you, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Right. Right.
yeah,
I think
there's
that
also
that is kind of more happening more now than it used to.
yeah. Oh yeah, because now people are getting businesses out of just getting their location for investigators because of YouTube. YouTube is like really changed things. I feel like to where like a lot of YouTubers are making this a lot more popular. Now you're seeing a lot more fictional stories coming out and over
And everything's a demon.
and everything's a demon in every single episode. The thing about this location, we actually have physical evidence to back up the claims, like the ritualistic items that were used.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah. So,
Right, because he opened something that, yeah, because I caught wind of that when I was not even the very beginning of that documentary. I was like kind of looking into the house a little bit. I didn't want to kind of look into too far, but yeah, he opened something there. He messed with something that he shouldn't have, and that made me unsettled. And I've seen and seen a lot of different things and experienced a lot of different things on the from the dark side of that, and that made me unsettled. So I was like, yep. So
yeah.
yeah.
This house
but,
was meant to be unsettling in that film.
Yeah, right. So let me ask you. I'll start with Helena. How after being away from this house has there been anything that's bothered you? I mean, have you had mood swings, or have you know what I mean? Has it kind of changed your demeanor in some way?
That's funny you say that. So I don't know if it has something to do with the house or not. I've been just hearing from a lot of people that there is something that will follow you home and cause issues and everything. So that's a possibility.
Hmm.
There is a lot going on in my life, So I don't know really, but I do believe something may have affected some parts. But yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know. It's yeah.
Right. It's kind of like if you look at it as it's kind of like being stung by a bee,
Yeah.
and then it's there for a little bit and it's kind of annoying, or it itches or whatever, and then it kind of goes away.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what I think of like attachments, or things, or kind of like something that's affected you when you've been in a haunted location, and it's kind of like getting that smell of a bonfire on you for a little bit, and it eventually will just
Yeah.
dissipate. Now, Joe and Matt, have you guys experienced anything since you've been to that house?
I don't get attachments really that I know of anymore. When I first started investigating, that's when I felt like I've had things follow me home. But after 4 years, 3 years of doing it, it kind of like stopped, and I don't have attachments anymore that I know of.
Yeah.
So for me, I've had a couple weird things happen after leaving the home. Uh,
Hmm.
and again, my fiance was witness to one of those things. Did it have anything to do with the house? I don't know. Maybe it was a coincidence, but I was at her place, and it just felt like something was just stuck in my throat, and I was trying to cough it out, and it was just like this black, like frothy stuff that I was coughing up, and like chunky too. Um, and apparently, I wasn't responding to Dawn when that whole thing was going on. I don't know if it had anything to do with the house or not, but that's never happened to me before, and it's never happened again. And then I'm just sitting where I'm at right now, and then I have a dresser, and there was just a cup there, not a glass cup, but just a cup, and it would just come off the dresser, just randomly. It wasn't at the edge of the dresser or anything like that, but it would come flying off. I'm like, okay. And I just, whatever. I kind of ignore it. It's like, okay, that's weird. Huh. Whatever. Kind of thing.
Right. It's kind of a normal thing. You'd be surprised at what some people get used to, and that people would think, oh, that would scare the crap out of me. It's like, yeah.
I think if I put more focus on it, maybe it would have gotten worse. But I'm like, whatever. Right.
Now, would you think that where you live is your location that you live in? Does that have any activity?
No. I mean, the room that I'm in, there used to be a lady that lived here with her son-in-law and daughter. She actually died in this room, but never not haunted.
Right. What about you, Matt? Have you been someplace, or you lived someplace that's been somewhat haunted?
I've had no, I wouldn't say haunted, but I would say that I've had personal experiences there, and I think it's like random. I think that there's like everyone has random paranormal experiences in their lives, and so I feel like that's what it was. Those just random things. It's like I call them like passing through entities, whatever. Yep. It's weird. I don't really know, to be honest.
Or a reminder of why you do it.
It's like, yes, you're supposed to do this. Stop doing that.
Maybe you're questioning it. You're on the right path.
Yeah, somebody needs to go remind Matt.
It's. I do feel like I was meant to do this kind of work, though, and my whole beginning of my life kind of led up to this moment, to be honest. Same with my passions too. All coincides. Like since high school and in middle school, my favorite subjects were science and history, and now kind of like, and then later down the line, and also I was also reading a whole bunch of books about the paranormal when I was younger, and had a lot of personal experiences of shadow people when I was younger, and that's actually why I got this tattoo of the shadow person, and then the old wash up is what sealed the deal. So,
when I was younger, and I tried to find books on ghosts and stuff like that, first off, it was only at school, and the librarian was like, that stuff isn't real, right? That's just silly make-believe stuff. Didn't have the internet, none of that stuff. And I was so embarrassed. I'm like, do you got any books on ghosts, like real ghosts? Because when at that point in time, I did live in a place that was haunted, and it was not fun. But I wanted to know more about it. Like, I wanted to try to understand it. And so, go to school, try to find books in the library on ghosts. And, the closest thing I could get to ghosts was like, some sort of like Charlie Brown Halloween or something like that. I did.
Hey, I love that.
Yeah.
Cartoon.
And I thought I had found a book on ghosts, but it was called The Black Death. And I learned an awful lot about the plague.
Yeah, in the early 2000s, because that's when I was in high school. Not high school. In middle school and elementary and all that. There was those books around, but then again, Ghost Hunters kind of made it popular at the time. So when Ghost Hunters came out, in 2004, that's when it started gaining popularity. The TV shows is what gained the popularity back, and then people weren't so crazy anymore. For having stories and stuff like that. So, so that's the one good thing I would say about the TV shows is that it seemed to open up more people. But then I would say the bad things is that some of the shows and some of the YouTubers have now created this whole thing to where it's more entertainment based and not anything real paranormal research related.
It's a money machine for
Right.
them.
Right, right. And that's the way they look at it. And that's the way a lot of, but I think a lot of people now are starting to kind of realize that we want to know the real truth. We don't want to see this entertainment. It's like
This is where we come
So
in.
they've seen, right, right, exactly. I mean, it's kind of like, it's just, it's kind of like overkill. And then some of these people that have been watching that for a long time have like, you know what? I really want to know what's behind this. And so then they turn on, your documentaries, or, even some of the other programs that are on, even on Amazon or whatnot. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I think that things are changing, you know. But I will tell you, when I was in grade school, and I'm not going to say the year because that was a long time ago, but when I went to the library, I came across a book called Ghosts by Daniel Cohen, and it was a blue jack cover, and it wasn't very thick, but it had great ghost stories in it. And I was third grade, and then I mean, I was hooked on reading after that. I read everything I possibly could. I went to the library to find books on ghosts. So, and not to mention the fact that I've also lived in several haunted places, but yeah, it's not a matter of if you're following the paranormal. It's more like that the paranormal follows you know, and that's the way you
Calling.
kind of look at
Yeah,
it.
well,
Yeah,
again, for me at school going to the library, I also had to be careful because, you know, like my grandmother on my mom's side of the family, super religious. No, ghosts
oh
aren't
yeah,
real. It's all
yeah,
demons. It's demons pretending, and
hmm
you know, which
yeah, yeah,
quite honestly, she terrified. She did not make the situation that we were in at the house any better. To be honest, like
yeah.
it was not fun.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, I mean, when you've got religious people in your family like that, you know what I mean? It's kind of like we weren't growing up really religious, but um, no, I know that firsthand. That you're people tell me, close people tell family tell me, you die, you go to heaven, that's it, and I'm like, I wish it was that easy. For the majority, it is, but there's that so many different small percentage that's not
Well, I
like that.
always say to people, what does it say? And not to take anybody to church or anything like that, but what does it say in the
Right.
Bible that happens
Preach, Joe, preach. Just kidding.
what happens to us? What does the Bible say happens to us when we die? We rest. We rest until the day of judgment. The whole book of
Right.
Revelations,
Right.
the devil rise from their grave, ascend to heaven, and judgment and all that stuff.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so how hard is it to believe that perhaps in between that time, somehow, some way, shape, or form, either we can't rest or our spirits are disturbed, and then poof, here we are,
hmm
ghost, spirit, whatever.
Right. 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 We have free will on this earth as well as the other side. Until we cross into that threshold, yeah, we could still do what we want to do, and that's the way it is. But there can be a lot of naysayers on a lot of different topics. I mean, you're not always going to be able to convince or even have other people
I find them
believe
as
in what you
motivation.
believe in, and that's right, and that's fine. I mean, that it is what it is. But you always just try to find like-minded people. You know what I mean? That you want to surround yourself with. And I think that you guys, you and Joe and Helena and I saw, watching that program and seeing the other people that were around you and this and that. The kid that was saying the prayers, what was his name?
Eric.
Eric
Eric.
Hunter. Yep.
Eric. Yeah. Um, he seems like a really knowledgeable kid, and he seems to be like all in it and
Oh yeah,
dedicated as
Eric
well.
is
You know what I mean?
100% all in. You ain't changing his mind.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
He's head
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Right, right. But the way, I mean, even the way he was, conducting the Estes sessions, I mean, he was professional and he, was just, yeah, I don't know, he had that demeanor. And I guess that's the kind of people that you want to have around you, especially if you're in a haunted location that has a history like the Monroe House, you know? So, um, is there some place in the Monroe House that when you were there, let me ask you this, Matt, because you were there for 3 days,
Yeah,
correct? By yourself.
yeah.
Okay. Was there a certain place that you just kind of avoided
No,
in that
the
house?
house isn't that big.
You
I've
just
been
went.
through all of it. It was 3 days, but as you can see, like only two things really happened during those 3 days.
Hmm.
Um, that I would consider paranormal because the rest were either too small to add or they it it wasn't big enough to add because this when it comes to the documentaries and everything, you want to grab the attention of a regular viewer, not just like, oh, look at this small
Right,
noise we
right,
heard or this small little voice that we think it is,
right, right,
but
right,
we're not
right.
100%. So I'd like to get the
Right.
best stuff inside the documentary,
Hmm.
and also ones that I
Hmm.
cannot say for 100. Like if I have doubts on something, I usually throw it out. So, um, like we captured an EVP
Hmm.
through the DR60. I don't like DR60s. And
Hmm.
Joe doesn't like DR60s, but
Okay.
Eric is not a part of PRU, so he does his own thing. Like he has his own style, his own thing,
Hmm.
which is. But we liked inviting Eric because he
Right.
brings that energy that he's really good.
Hmm.
He's like a star. He's like one of those people that is good on camera, and also he's a really
Right.
nice guy, really good guy.
And when
And
he
so
walks into a
Yeah.
room, you know it's Eric. You can see him a
yeah,
mile away. He stands
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
Right. Right. Right.
And
Right.
then
And that's kind of what I got when I was watching that. You know what I mean? So.
yeah. So he's I liked having
Yeah.
him because he brings an energy to the location for sure. Actually, I think he's part of the big reasons why we maybe get more activity because if it's just Joe and I, for example, it's gonna be dead because
Yep. We
because
already know the outcome.
yeah, because Joe and I are very calm
Right. Right.
about this stuff, very calm minded and analytical and scientific minded. And
Right.
so
Right.
that's I would say through my experience of investigating with multiple different groups, I would say as in capturing evidence, I don't think that's the best mindset. It's interesting. I think
Hmm.
psychology has to do more with paranormal than people think. So yeah.
Hmm. Right. Right. So, and as a whole, talking about the Monroe House, um, you would investigate it again. I'm assuming,
Oh yeah, I would love to go back and investigate.
or do you think that is? I mean, have you ever been to like a place when it's saying, "Okay, I could check that off my list. I don't have any need to go back to it."
Uh, no, I think the paranormal is there's always more to learn from the paranormal and have more experiences. And there's still one mystery about the location that we don't know 100% about. Maybe we'll revisit it on our TV show in the future. So
Right. Right. Right.
Um,
Right. Right.
yeah,
Well, that would be cool.
I would definitely, yeah, I'll always go back to the Monroe House, and it's not just because it is the
Right.
Monroe House; it's the people who own it. Pam and Eddie, great
Hmm.
people, love them. They're
Hmm.
absolutely
Amazing
amazing
people.
Right.
people. And
Hmm.
am I in a hurry to go back? No. I mean, I spent a lot of time there. Uh, I mean, I've
Hmm.
investigated that place like crazy, but absolutely, I'll go
oh
back.
yeah.
Hmm.
Another thing is that
Hmm.
if we do go back, it'll be in episode form. I don't like
Hmm.
rehashing documentaries at the same location, same stories and stuff. I like doing a
Right.
full new
Right.
story.
Right.
As an artist, I like having something new. So
Something
yeah,
fresh. Yeah.
but we were
Yeah.
recently just talking, and we're thinking about maybe getting into the TV show stuff now, pretty soon. But after this third documentary we're doing, we have a third documentary,
Right. Right.
and then we
Is there anything that you want to talk about that? I mean, is there something that you just it's
we're not
behind
allowed
the
to.
scenes in the works,
It's
or it's
under
just
wraps for the third
Yep.
one.
Okay.
Just follow
Hey,
our
you're
YouTube pages.
you're raps. So
There are
right,
stuff and
right.
things going on, but
Yeah, the reason why we don't say these things is because we've had ideas taken before. So
I
yeah,
ran into that too. So yep. I get it. I get it.
so
I'm very
I don't
protective
I
of
don't
my
say anything
projects as
anymore.
well. Yep.
Yeah, because
Yep.
possibly Nick Groff was one of the people that gave a friend of his an idea because uh, Eddie told me that he told Nick Groff like the Man vs. Paranormal thing I was doing, and then not
Uh-huh.
even like about 6 months, 7 months later after they were there, Johnny Hauser versus comes out on his streaming platform where he's there by himself and stuff like that. He kind of did it in a live stream format, but it was pretty similar. And so I was like,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
suspicious that the guy that told
Right. Right.
his program,
Yeah.
and
Right.
so
Right.
like
Right. There
yeah,
is no
so.
coincidences. Come on, guys.
But I'm not
So
saying it's 100% or anything, so don't go like, "Oh,
yeah.
Nick Ruff, look at this." I'm just saying like it's
I'm gonna
kind of
post it
weird.
and tag Nick in it.
Yeah, it's just a little sus.
Um,
So I don't know.
so yeah. All right. Well, folks, I mean, this has been a blast. I mean, I'm at the top of my hour almost, and I can't tell you that I'm appreciative of you guys coming on and talking with me. And I want to be able to share out this documentary on Amazon, and I will definitely give it a review. I've watched it, and I will review it when I go back into my Amazon account, and I will definitely be sharing this out with other people. I have some other friends of mine that haven't heard of it, and they will. Um, and I have a couple friends in Chicago here that haven't heard of it yet, and they will. So I definitely want to be able to get the word out. So before we go, I want you all to kind of just give me a little bit of a synopsis of where people can find you, who you're with, and what you're doing, and what some of your future plans are. So Joe, you go first.
Just go to the YouTube channel Entity Seven Paranormal. I'm not much of a Facebook guy or anything like that, so just go there, check that out there.
Okay.
Matt, go ahead.
So the biggest one is the YouTube channel Paranormal Research Unit, and that's the with the whole team and everything. And then my other one that I use a lot is my Instagram, Real Matt Benton, at Real Matt Benton. So those are my two main ones. And then I'm trying to use X some more. So that one's just at Matt Benton. I'm trying to use that more. So if you guys want to follow me on there too. And then I would say keep an eye out. Oh, yeah, you can follow the Evil Unearthed Facebook page. Evil Unearthed Facebook
Okay.
page if you want more information on the
Mhm.
film. Right now, it's currently on Amazon Prime Video.
Mhm.
Prime Video. You can go
Yep.
watch Evil Unearthed right now. Recommend buying it because it helps out, the filmmakers
Right.
instead of
Right.
just renting
Right.
it. It helps us out a lot. And please leave a review also. One other thing I wanted to ask you after Helena is it actually you can answer then Helena. What out of 10 what would you give it?
I would give it a 9. Actually,
Awesome.
I wouldn't give it a 10, just because I don't really give total 10 scores. I mean, I would have to give it a 9 just because of the fact that there were parts in it that really made me uncomfortable, and I,
Good.
that's
Good.
that's
I
just
want.
me being who I am. It takes a lot, and so for you to do that, I mean, that's great. But I think that you know, for the whole aspect of it,
It's
I would
funny.
give it a 9.
It's actually a compliment.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I get it, but it's just there's just something about it that it unsettled me. Like I said, it physically gave me a headache, and yeah, um, but I think that other people are really gonna be able to see the work that you do and how you do it. The way you put together your documentary, and I am truly an admirer of that because I've been trying to get my own documentaries going, but just because like like you talked about before when you first started, it's about funding and you don't have the right equipment and you don't you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It costs money to travel. It costs money to do this. You know what I mean. So I get that aspect, but I really did enjoy the way you processed the whole documentary and the shots that you got were great and so yeah I think that people are really going to like it and I like I said I will be sharing it out and making sure that people know it and I give my honest review. I'll give it a 9. I wasn't going to say, oh, I'll give it a 2. No, I'm not going to do that.
uh,
No,
Out
I
of
won't. I
curiosity,
won't do that.
when you compare it to other documentaries, do you think it feels separated from the
It's
rest?
legit. No, it's legit. Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
just curious.
Yep.
I was
Nope.
just curious what your view was, if it
I've
felt different
watched a
than
lot of
yours.
different documentaries. And
Mhm.
what I think that you have going for you because you narrated it, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, it's your voice that actually sets that tone for that whole movie or for that whole documentary. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There
it
are
makes
a
it more
lot of
personal.
people. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people that have that voice that can do a documentary, but that it's your voice and it's you in the documentary. That's what makes it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you had
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
else do it,
It wouldn't
like
feel the
let's say you had Joe do it. Do you think that would?
same.
I can't stand my own voice.
So yeah, but that's where it makes it is your voice and your narrating and you know what I mean.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, you know, keep doing that, and I think you're golden on whatever else you
Awesome. I just like getting feedback for future documentaries.
do.
But thank you,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
All right, well, we saved the best for last. It's Helena's turn.
Yep,
Yep.
Oh.
Helena.
This one in the documentary.
Oh my gosh. So wait, what am I supposed to say?
Oh,
Sorry, spacing
your
out.
uh your socials.
No, you can just say you can find you and what you got.
Well, yeah. So you can find me on Instagram, Helena Benton, and also Hauntingly Beautiful Adventures. I also have a YouTube channel, Hauntingly Beautiful Adventures. That's my paranormal stuff. I also have a second channel for true crime. It's still fresh, new channel. I'm starting it. It's I only have 2 videos at the moment. So yeah, I feel like true crime, Hellbent with 1 L,
Because it goes with her name.
and yeah,
Because
Helena Benton, Hellbent. Um, and yeah, I think that's it.
I want to thank you guys again. This has been a lot of fun, and I've got a lot of great insight from all three of you on the Monroe House. So people, if you haven't heard, and this will be up. I mean, people will be listening to this on iHeartRadio and Spotify and everywhere else you get your podcast. So go check out Evil Unearthed on Amazon. Leave a
yep, it'll
review.
be released in other places later, but as of right
Yep.
now, it's on Prime.
Right. Right. So, if you're listening to this, then yeah, please check out that documentary. Matt Benton, Helena Benton, and Joe Vitale. So, if you're into the paranormal, if you're into documentaries, this is right up your alley. So, I want you guys to check it out. And you can also follow me on YouTube on Encompass Media, as well as Facebook. You can find me on JD.Hill on Facebook and on TikTok as well, J Paranormal, Encompass Media, and same on Instagram. Yeah, I'm kind of everywhere, so I try to you know let everybody know. But yeah, so that's it, everybody, and I want to thank you again for showing up, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. We had quite a few guests on our chat, and I wasn't able to actually post all of them, but you have a lot of love in the room, So I want to
Yeah,
thank you
awesome
guys again.
people.
Indeed. So, having said that, I am going to let you know that I will be on next week with another episode of Paranormal Memoirs and another Paranormal Saloon. So check that out, and I will see you